Hey guys, I'm trapped in a box, but you can call me Mark. Welcome back to my networking project, where I graph the collaborations between different YouTubers. I'm back in Gephi, the network visualization program, and I've got more data to show you. As always, every circle on this graphy represents a YouTube channel or contributor, and their size as well as their position are directly related to the number of appearances every guest has made. I've used the Yifan Hu positioning algorithm to organize them, so sorry if some of these aren't very pretty. And because this is the combo day, there are 3 colors identifying the 3 groups I've made. The nodes, whose channels I've collected data for so far, in darker blue, the guests, who have appeared in multiple channels, in teal or light blue or whatever you want to call it, and the uniques, who have only appeared in one of the node channels so far, are in orange. This week we are adding Martin, also known as In the Littlewood, to our network. Known for his Dream Team live streams, his playthrough of Ni no Kuni and Zelda games, and his loyal followers known as saplings, Martin has been around for over 4 years now. I'm actually really excited because, as you can see, we finally have a second camp. Though Martin was in talks with the Yogs in 2011 for a parody music video called Mine This Way, there are no current videos from that year which give evidence of any crossover between the channels, and that's kind of the point of my project, so this is pretty cool, especially in contrast to the next year, 2012. Let's head over and see how more direct collaboration changes things. In 2012, Martin definitely embedded himself into the Yogscast, but he has a whole parachute of external uniques more than anybody else. This is actually really interesting to me. Some members like Hat Films, Sips, and Shin begin in 2012 to collaborate only within their group, as you can see, and even then the face of the Yogs, Lewis and Simon, only have 4 uniques. But Martin, he has no desire to do so. He plays games with people all over. And this is his first year with the Yogs, so he is actually emphasizing his Yog connection with these collaborations. Let's move on to 2013, when everyone went through a phase of expand and find your own niche. Okay, 2013. If any of you remember, this year used to be the most symmetrical graph in the previous videos, with Shin on one side and Lewis and Simon on the other, and Duncan on top. Not anymore. Because of his extreme number of collaborators, Martin is pulled a distance away from the other Yogs we've looked at so far. Here's where we begin to determine how significant the positioning algorithm I'm using is. What does it mean that Martin is way over there? Obviously he has lots of outside connections, but does this mean that a fan of Duncan would be more likely to enjoy Sips than he would be to enjoy Martin? I don't know. By the way, also these graphs are going to be uploaded on Imgur, and I'm going to have a Reddit post, as usual. It'll have a link to them, so if you want to see them in more detail, you can head to that link. But for now, let's see what 2014 tells us. Here, 2014, you can see Strippin and Sparkles are both pulled a little bit closer to Martin than everybody else, as they are the other 2 members of the Dream Stream, but Martin's is definitely a part of his own camp still. I've always thought of Martin's viewer base as younger, just because the games he plays are less of the shoot 'em up kind of thing of Hat Films, and more of the cutesy Nintendo type titles. Maybe this is one of the more meaningful significances in the separation Martin makes from the other nodes looked at so far. Well, you know what they say, time will tell. Let's look at the combo graph and see what that can tell us. Alright, here we are in the combo graph. It's interesting to me that while Martin has the greatest number of uniques and collaborators, his circle's only a little larger than Kim's, and much smaller than Lewis and Simon's, meaning that his total number of videos with collaborations is relatively small. Either way, this is starting to turn out to be a pretty interesting project. I'm looking forward to adding more YouTubers to the network and seeing if any of the other Yogs have a similar addition to the network to make. Alright, so next week I'm going to be back on schedule, I promise, and in the next few weeks I want to make a video where I play with these graphs as well, instead of just leaving them static as they are in these videos. Let me know who you'd like to see next, and if you have any ideas at all about how I can improve the appearances of these graphs. Last week somebody commented and let me know that there's a way to settle the nodes on the graphs, and that was actually extremely helpful, because when I first tried to use the algorithm to organize the nodes from 2011, when there's 2 camps, Martin's camp got thrown by the algorithm to an infinite distance away from Lewis and Simon, and yeah, I had to do some fixing for that. Anyway, thanks for watching guys, and let me know what you think of the new style. I will see you next week.